Let's do.
Blue Brock.
Legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. It's me, Coach Muddle, Nevada Nick, the captain. How's everybody doing? We got a lot to get to. A lot of stuff happened since our last show. So just going to put this, starting out real quick, just so you know, Yankees are out. We're done with baseball. Don't need it. The Yankees are done. So, get your second-rate team, your second team captain can be whatever.
That sucks being you when your baseball season's over. That's why when my Phillies, and notice I'm wearing my Phillies shirt, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. It's nice to have something that you can continue to watch and actually have a stake in the claim.
Well, football's more important. So football's on. Don't need and so that's end of that. So
you're like Patrick Mahomes.
I wanted to start with
now, Captain. Hold on. Are you going to get on Patrick Mahomes because of the handshake thing yesterday? Because that's total bullshit. Everybody gave him shit.
Wait a second.
What were you saying about Patrick Mahomes? What are you saying?
I saw that. That's it.
But Captain, last week everybody bitched because he hugged somebody. Now he doesn't do
You know what? Let's get to it in time.
Yeah, but that's not right. So last week he hugged somebody, and they're giving him shit for it, and now he does nothing, and he doesn't. These guys can't win.
So you want to do this now? Okay, let's fucking do this now. All right, I was willing to wait, but since you're going to go there,
Captain, you said about Patrick Mahomes, that's ridiculous. Last week we all said, well, not me, but everybody said about he was hugging the guy, and you brought it up, Captain, and said that the bro hug and it was too much, and now he doesn't do anything, and it's a problem. What do you want him to do, Captain?
May I have the
audience? Yeah, what do you want him to do, Captain? Tell me. What do you want him to do?
Why don't you have like a little bit more of even the social distancing? If you want to do that, if you're bitching about,
look, write down what you want, Captain, and send it to him. It's ridiculous.
So go ahead.
So hold on, get his tape measure out. Get his tape measure out.
And talk over me when
no, but Captain, it's ridiculous. Get tape measure out and socially distance so you're happy because, I mean, come on, it's one game.
You know what? You didn't even fucking let me finish, just like fucking Muddle does every now and again, but mostly he does it to you.
Because it's ridiculous, Captain. Because last week you said
time out. Look, I'm gonna mute Nick if I have to. This is getting like a fucking debate here. Let Captain say his shit, and then you can jump in.
Okay.
Let him finish. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Captain.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pull the old H. Ross for a can of finish. Okay. If they have something agreed upon, and I think that they really should. If they have something agreed upon, because all the NFL people do it in the league and this and the fucking players union. They say, hey, you're either going to do it or you don't. Let there be a fucking quantifiable thing that they're going to do it or not going to do it. Because this way, there's no question. There's no question about him being a fucking prick, which he is.
Oh, my God. He's a prick now?
Yeah.
Come on, Captain.
Did you
he'll show you how much a prick he is in Vegas.
Let him finish. Yeah. Hold on. You get
okay.
You get for 2 minutes.
Okay, before I saw the little dap, because apparently some guy said, hey, he did this, he did the dap. Big fucking deal. That's not even worth the effort. It would have even been better. It would have even been better had he walked off like we all thought he did. Yes, he gave a dap. Big fucking deal. Like he had to go out of his way to be pissy about it. Okay.
Wait, he gave it.
Let him finish.
He gave a dap.
That's not good enough for you. What did you want?
No, I would admit it like a distance of hey, where they can actually hear each other, and away from each other because you have the thing about, well, you don't want to do the bro hugs. I get that. Couldn't it be like, you know what, more than 30 seconds or 30 seconds? Yes.
Can I speak now?
Yes, you may.
He's the Super Bowl winning champion. I think he could give two shits about what Derek Carr's worried about. I don't think it had anything to do with anything. The guy last week got criticized for doing too much. I think it's all in their head. I don't think he meant anything by it. They didn't play well yesterday. He was probably upset. Trust me, Patrick Mahomes is a good dude. And to say he's a prick now because one game in the regular season. Sorry, Captain, not all of us. Hold on. Not all of us were crying like you yesterday because you got one regular season win. I mean, it was just another game. It is, Captain. Well, it's a regular season game, which that takes away your whole I'm an analyst. You can throw that out the window when you're crying over a regular season
How
win.
am I crying over a regular season
You
win?
cried yesterday in your show.
I was crying because I was elated, okay? And you know what? Fuck you for not having any heart. Okay, because it was
I'm speaking now. You said fuck about Dak Prescott, who broke his fucking ankle yesterday.
No.
Who cares? And you apologized later when you said you didn't care. And I'm the one. That was you.
He broke his fucking ankle. I said I don't give a shit.
Broke his fucking ankle. And I'm the one with no heart.
You know what?
I'm the one.
Again, fuck, piss, fuck, get fat, kiss my fucking ass. Yeah. Okay? Fuck you. I said I did not know the extent of his injury.
Who wants people to get hurt?
Yeah, who
wants people to get hurt?
This was the quote.
And I'm the one with no heart.
Dak Prescott got hurt. I said, you know, I really don't care about.
And Jason Dean, thank you. He doesn't care. You guys won yesterday. Why are you worried about Mahomes? Like, who cares what he does?
I'm not worried about Mahomes. I just didn't like the look of it. And I apologized because I did not know the extent of Dak Prescott's injury. I didn't know. I'm driving a fucking car, trying to do a fucking
well, Captain, you shouldn't. When people get hurt, you should always. You don't need to. But still, the guy. I hate the Cowboys. I would rather lose and Dak be healthy than win and Dak be hurt. That's just me. I'm different.
I got it. And you know what?
What I'm saying, when you criticize Mahomes, but my point,
fuck you, Nick. I said that injury was worse than the Derek.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about the injury anymore. But when you criticized Mahomes last week for hugging somebody, and then now this week it's not he's doing enough, you're wrong, Captain. He might have been pissed. Look, he's a winner. Nobody likes losing here, and sometimes you just got to walk off. They gave Brady the same shit on Thursday. I mean, look, it's one game. I'm sure. Wait till Vegas and see what Patrick Mahomes does to you then. That's what I would be worried about. Not whether he gave you a dab after the game.
Hold on.
It sounds to me like you lost some money on the game, Nick, because that's why you're taking that loss a little bit too much. Sounds to me like you lost some money on it.
No, I didn't, Captain. Captain, did I not say that was too many points when that came out this line? Did I not, Captain? I said that line was too high. Did I not say it was a bad spot for the Chiefs? Did I say it was a bad spot for the Chiefs going last week? Did I say that? Yeah. I said coming off 2 wins for a short week.
Then why are you getting so pissy about it now?
Because when you start criticizing Mahomes because he doesn't give a guy a dab afterwards, I heard you saying the thing about Dak. I didn't think that was right. And then, right from the beginning, you got to win, and you're bitching about the other quarterback not giving you the thing. It's ridiculous. Take the win. Like, you won the game.
Right, it's regular season. It's week 5. It wasn't the AFC Championship. It wasn't. It wasn't. Right. But man. But wait. When you get to the playoffs and that shit happens, then I think you may be able to bitch about something or cry about it. But it's a fucking regular season game in week 5. Means shit to both teams. They don't give a shit.
I give a shit because it's the Kansas City fucking team.
You're a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
You know what, Captain? Guess what? At 4:25, it was the biggest game of the year for the Giants at 4:25. I wasn't fucking crying. I wasn't bitching that the fucking tackle didn't even fucking sneeze and got a penalty about it. I wasn't on the air crying about it. It fucking happens. It's a game. You line up, you play. That's the call. You fucking End of story. Or you win. You move on to the next week, just like Belichick says. On to the Redskins, on to whoever the Raiders got this week. I don't even know. But
they're all
on to that.
They got to buy this.
Okay, on to your buy. I mean, you know.
Coach, you know what? Fuck you too. Get the fuck out of here. I'm on a show.
Man.
Yeah, double back at you. Fucking. I told you when I'm on a show, you go and you keep out of the fucking room.
Captain's getting it from all angles. Sorry, Captain.
Yeah. All angles, man.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but, Captain, I don't want to break balls, but I thought yesterday, look, the one thing everybody's killed the Raiders on, the defense, looked really good in the second half. And I thought the Raiders played a great second half against that Chiefs offense. And I think we should have been positive about it. It's a good win for the Raiders. I don't know why you're worried about Mahomes. The Chiefs didn't play well. And I'm not trying to make excuses. The Raiders, they outplayed them. They were flat yesterday, Captain. They were. Right. But the Raiders wanted that game more.
Yes.
Do you disagree?
Yes, the Chiefs put up 32 fucking points and they didn't play well.
They took a touchdown off the board, right? Which was a holding penalty. I'm not disagreeing with it. They took a touchdown off the board with Kelsey. The touchdown to Hill, where they called the holding on the first drive. Okay, and then Kelsey, and it was offensive pass interference. He should have just ran through it, but that took 4 points off. They were flat yesterday. They had mental mistakes. But the Raiders wanted it more. You could see it yesterday. And the Raiders defense played inspired in the second half. I give it to them. I mean, from what they put out in the first half to the second half, that was the unit that won the game yesterday. As good as the Raiders played, you could see Ruggs was a difference, that stretch in the field. And Spags will adjust to that because Ruggs really took the top off of the game yesterday, and so did Aguilar twice, which you don't see with Spags' defense. He's a bend but not break type defense, and they gave up 2 long touchdowns to the Raiders. And look, man, with that speed, with that speed, man, they're going to be tough to stop because you're going to have Waller up over the middle now if you're trying to keep the long pass. And, I mean, the Raiders got a lot of weapons. They're dangerous on offense. There's no doubt about it. If Gruden can now this is one thing I'll say about that, and then I'll let Captain go. I think I could be wrong, but if I was you guys, I would want the Bucs to win this Sunday against the Packers because if they lose, you're going to have Brady on back-to-back losses.
I agree. I agree.
A lot of it's about spots. I'm not saying the Raiders didn't deserve to win yesterday. They did, but it was a good spot for them. Chiefs were undefeated, and the Chiefs have had a lot of bad games this year. They should have lost to the Chargers. They should have lost to the Patriots, and they should have lost yesterday. I mean, the Raiders won that game. So they had 2 good games, the Texans, and they look really good against the Ravens. But, I mean, look, they are ultimately still 4-1. They'll work on it, much like last year. The defense stunk, and they got it going in the second half. But, it was the Raiders game, and like I said, I would root for Tampa Bay to win. And to me, the way the line is right now, it's scream and bet Tampa Bay because Green Bay is only a 1.5 favorite in Tampa Bay, which is extreme. It seems too easy, the way Green Bay is playing.
With fans.
Okay. And for all the people that are bitching, I said we would get to this in time. I said that at the top of the fucking show.
Well, I just didn't know it was good about that.
I didn't want to go into this. But then you went and said, okay, you want to do this now? Let's fucking do this now. Okay. And for you, Coach, yes, beating Kansas City to me was that fucking important. Even if it was a regular season game, because we hadn't beaten Kansas City in Arrowhead in 8 years. Derek Carr had been embarrassed there for 8 years. The Raiders have looked like shit in Kansas City most of the time they go there. It was that important to me. Is it important in the pantheon of what's going to happen this season? Maybe, because maybe that's the stepping stone, the further stepping stone that they needed. They needed that one. Going on. I don't know. Rick Flair.
The captain said I had no heart and then said I lost money. I won the Lakers last night for the championship, big money, and he's saying I lost money and I had no heart. I mean, that's terrible.
I said the way that you were coming at me, it's like, what, did you lose money on it?
No, I just didn't like how last week you said about Mahomes, the COVID thing, and then now this week it's He's not doing enough.
I get
That's
that,
what bothers me.
but there should be a standard so that people don't have to go through. Was he a prick or was it COVID? It should be delineated.
I get it,
That's
but
why I'm saying it.
they're rival teams too, Captain. You know what I mean? So sometimes you're going to have games, it's just, I get it. Like when you're a competitor and it's football, maybe he was pissed at himself. I'm sure he has nothing. So he didn't engage with Derek Carr. Is that what happened, I guess? Or
he's never engaged with Derek Carr. And
maybe he doesn't like Derek Carr. I don't know. But I don't. Well,
there you go.
It happens. They're rivals, Captain. It happens. It's football.
It happens, right? I'm aware that isn't even something that was, I wouldn't even.
Okay, you know what?
I think you're the only one on the planet talking about it.
I thought Captain was going to come in elated about the Raiders thing, and right away it's about Kermit the Frog.
Well, I don't like Kermit the Frog, and I'm obvious about it.
But I don't like Dak Prescott. But if he doesn't take hands,
that was the second thing that got me really pissed off. I said in offhand. Because
I said you apologized later.
I said offhand. I said,
you still shouldn't want players to get hurt.
No. I said I don't want to hear about injuries to another player or another team. I don't care. I believe that was probably my comment. I don't want to hear about injuries to other players on other teams. I don't care. My game is over. And then when I found out that he was carted off, and then when I saw what actually happened when the guy said he's crying, I'm like, oh shit, well maybe it's really serious. And it really is serious. And I didn't mean to sound as flippant as I did. And I apologized for it as soon as I fucking knew.
Well, the reason I said is because you said I have no heart. So I figured, might as well. And Jason Dean, right. And look, if Mahomes did snub Carr or whatever, hey, just remember that stuff for next game. That's all. Just remember for next game. Look, the way things are right now, the Raiders are on the up. The Chiefs are the team on the throne. So the Raiders got to just keep chipping away. That's just the way it is. They're division rivals. They've always been. That's, I think, the most heated rivalry for both teams, correct?
Yes.
I don't know if the Broncos maybe factor in with one of the other teams. I don't know. But they're definitely the top two teams in the division. So it's going to happen. Look at Dallas and the Eagles, man. We've been battling for 15 years, and sometimes it's going to get contentious. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and going back to the third point, which is, you better fucking wait until the Chiefs come into fucking Vegas. Yeah, they're coming in off the fucking bye week.
Well, so what? Doesn't matter.
What's Andy Reid's record?
So now here's the excuse.
It's not a fucking excuse.
Yes, it is, because you know what? Wait a second.
Hold on. But Andy is great off buys. Captain is right. Andy is great off buys.
And ask me how many of those buys have occurred before the Raiders.
That would be the attitude. We get to screw up Andy's record. I want him on Monday night because he's 16-0. Because now he'll be 16-1 after that. Because that's what I look at it.
It would be like 16-2 or 3 because he's only lost 1 or 2. But I'm just saying, it is. I don't like the fact that every year, and please look it up because I am not being, they're out to get me. They're out to get me. I'm paranoid. Please look it up. Every year. At least for the last 5 that I can remember, and for most of the time that Andy Reid's been over in Kansas City. I'm being calm. Don't piss me off. Okay?
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls.
Look at when Andy Reid gets his fucking bye. When he's been the coach of the Chiefs. Please do, because I'm not lying.
Check. I'll look into it, Captain.
I'm not lying.
I will.
I'm not lying.
I know if that's true, that's not fair. If it's every year like that because they're division rivals and that is an advantage, I don't disagree with you. Although, Captain, with the way the league's going right now, it might get shuffled and then might end up being the other way. Who knows? True. Because I've seen the schedule's gotten jostled already crazy.
I guess you're Chris Farley.
Yeah, I'm Chris Farley.
Younger. And away we go. One of these days, bang, zoom to the moon.
And like I said, Captain, I wasn't trying to be facetious when I said I really thought the Chiefs did come out flat, and I did think it was a bad spot for them with the rate. Like I said, I was really impressed with the Raiders defense in the second half. And maybe this is something that can catapult them, because it was 24-24. And look, it's not like the Raiders came out and scored on the first drive. They didn't. And Raiders were getting stops. And when they needed to, they made the plays. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think the Chiefs luck out kind of this weekend, because now they're going to get the Bills on a short week. It was supposed to be Thursday, so they would have been going Sunday to Thursday. Now they'll play Sunday, and then Bills will play Tuesday, Sunday. So I do think the Chiefs get a little bit of a break there, getting the Bills on only 4-day rest when they had a whole week. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. We want to go into other stuff now, Coach? We just went 21 minutes.
I know, and I didn't want to do 20 minutes. I didn't want to do 20 minutes on this. I swear. And I won't watch the goddamn door next time.
It's good TV. Yeah, well, I didn't mean for that to happen, Captain. I don't want any domestic disputes.
I really wanted to start off with, our condolences to Joe Morgan.
Which is why I wore the red. Thank you. And again, so I'm sorry, love Joe Morgan, Oakland product, and I didn't have any Oakland stuff ready to go. This was one of the new shirts I had just gotten in the mail I told you about. I said, you know what, Phillies, the red Phillies for Morgan, and Oakland, because it's Joe Morgan, made Joe Morgan recipes. And as we were saying before, and again, Nick was up on this, Coach was up on this, I was up on this. We've lost like 6 Hall of Famers in like three, maybe 4 weeks.
Seaver, Gibson, a ton of guys. Yeah. It's a shame. Yeah. But Coach, do you want to get into our teams now? And
I want to get into our teams, but we didn't even get. I wanted to do some college football first, because we don't really.
Okay, let's do college first.
We don't have the time.
We're all good now.
I really got some.
Me and Captain can scream at each other and then be good 2 minutes later. We're good. Even though Captain put his ass in my face, but we'll not literally, but
Hey, at least I keep my pants on.
Hey, you know what, man? If it's good for everybody to see, and it's a debate. That's all. I don't hold nothing personal against Captain.
I need to fly. Somebody needs to get me a fly. There you go.
So I wanted to get in with a couple of things. LSU. Look, their defense is horrible. And I really think it's more the coordinator who they hired than it is the scheme, LSU, because,
they
LSU,
lost a lot of guys, too.
Yeah.
You know what? It's LSU. And the drop-off is not that, I'm sorry. They're still getting 5-star recruits. It's not like,
you're right.
Oh, that was a 5-star class and this is a 2-star class.
Right.
That isn't it. It is, the scheme there with LSU. And, I saw a funny skit. I couldn't figure out how to do it. And if anyone wants to check it out, it's called the SEC Short. It has Florida, Alabama, and LSU, how to play defense.
Yeah.
And the dude walks in with a Big 12 shirt on. He waves at him. It's great. You got to see it. It's good clip. And
Angela said she didn't drink after that.
When I said, Captain, that you're killing me, Smalls, the kicker for Texas A&M, his last name is Smalls.
Smalls, yeah.
I caught that, and you know what? Great win by Texas A&M, and I even put it on Facebook immediately after the game because I have heart.
But here's where I wanted to get to, Nick, and I'm slow getting there.
Right.
But it was, Ole Miss, I have connections with Ole Miss, Alabama, and I mean Nick Saban is the Bill Belichick of the college world.
We don't have much time, Coach. Just get to the point. Well, Coach, we don't have much time. You're going through all the things. Just say what you want to say. Go ahead.
No, I take my time. It's my show. I'll take my time with it. Okay.
Well, just say what you got to say, Coach. We got a lot of stuff to cover.
But I got a little bit of an issue with Nick Saban saying, "Oh, I think they got our calls. They got our calls. They knew our signals." Come on, Coach. You're better than that. You're way better than that. Way above that. Come on. I'm sorry, but I've been around that offense that is run at Ole Miss. I mean, I've been with those guys, and in it, they are flying. They are snapping the ball before they're even. They're still trying to put their signals in on defense.
But
so
Kiffin also.
Wait a second. let me get to that. I mean, Kiffin worked for Alabama. I'm sure he knows.
Saying he practiced against the defense every day.
He may not know the specific signals for what they're doing, but he probably is like, we need to run this play. I'm calling this play because Nick usually does this in a certain situation. So but that's part of the game, dude. Don't
Yeah.
I just horse shit, and I think Lane Kiffin put Alabama and everybody else on notice.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree. And Vicky, we're going to talk about that because that's a big thing. So we will talk. We're not avoiding that, Nikki, because that's one thing. And I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you it now. Georgia is playing Alabama this weekend. They are getting 6.5 points. Bet Georgia. I love Georgia. I think Georgia was down 3 points to Tennessee at halftime, 27-0 in the second half. I think Georgia is going to beat Alabama this weekend. Forget about the points. I like them straight up. I think Georgia's better. Look, Ole Miss, their defense is bad, but still, Alabama should not have been scoring the amount of points. Ole Miss should not have been scoring the amount of points against Alabama that they did. So, and there was a lot of just mental mistakes. I'm sure Nick Saban was not happy about. So, and one thing, look, all the trends are saying betting Alabama this weekend. Nick Saban's assistants are 0-21 against him. 0-21. So I'm calling it's going to be 1-21 on Saturday.
Kirby Smart, great coach.
Yeah,
great coach.
Yeah, he is a very good smart, and it's a little bit different. This reminds me a lot, Captain, of 08-09 when Florida was the big team on town and Alabama was knocking at the door, and then they played in the SEC championship. And Alabama beat them and knocked them down. Yeah. I kind of see that with Georgia, and I think Saturday is going to be the day out. Not that they get knocked, but you know what I'm saying? That this is going to be Georgia's year. I think they beat Alabama. I really do. I like Georgia Saturday. I like them with the points. I like them straight up. I think this is Georgia's game.
I think so as well, and that's hard for me to say considering I'm a Gator. And I actually wish, and I think they if I'm not mistaken, Georgia plays us after that, I think, because normally it's on Halloween. So it's either right after that or the week after that, because we normally play them we play Georgia on Halloween weekend normally, and we play Florida State, although we don't not playing Florida State this year, Thanksgiving. That's how I know what the holiday is by when we play who in those games.
Right.
But I really think that, and that's where I want to see how good Georgia is, because Florida has an offense that can score. It's just a matter of fact that Florida's defense is really the pits this year. And if Georgia has a modicum of defense, as I think they do, Florida, it's going to be one of those track meets when Florida gets to Georgia. But I think Georgia can take Alabama. I really do.
November 7th. Georgia and Florida play. Week after Halloween. Georgia plays Kentucky bye week. And once again, not good for Florida. They're playing Georgia off a bye week. So Georgia will have off Halloween, then go play Florida. So now, do we want to transition to Lakers? Is that okay? Or do you have something else you want to talk about?
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go to the Lakers.
Well, and I'll tell you last night, man. So I'm listening to Jeannie Buss talk. And look, all the credit to the Lakers. It was a tough situation playing in the bubble away from their families for a good part of the time. But, I said Lakers would win in February. I did change my mind. I can't lie. I changed my mind going in the bubble because Avery Bradley opted out and Rajon Rondo got hurt. But Rondo came back. And let me tell you this, Rondo was very important in those playoffs. His just experience with that team really helped because the Lakers, other than LeBron and AD, don't have much. The Heat are a much deeper team. And honestly, if Dragic doesn't get hurt, it might have been I got a feeling Heat might have won. It definitely would have went 7. Yeah. I called Lakers in 6. They won in 6. I called Lightning in 6, so I got the exact amount of games right. But look, credit to the Lakers. LeBron 4 titles now. Yep. I think he cements himself is one of the greatest, if not the greatest. I know a lot of people like to say, well, MJ won 6 titles, 6 MVPs, but MJ didn't play the caliber of teams LeBron did. LeBron beat the Spurs, who were a dynasty with Popovich, Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker. He beat the Warriors, who were a dynasty with Curry and, all the guys they got. And, he didn't beat Durant's team, but still, he beat a 73-win Warriors team. They had to go through the Celtics.
I understand what you're saying there, but I really think that one win that he has with the Cavaliers over the Warriors, that was platter given to him
because of Draymond getting suspended.
Of Draymond Green. I don't
disagree with you, Captain, but to me, that's his biggest title because it was in Cleveland.
Right.
And, I know he had Kyrie on that team, but to me, that's the title that probably means the most because they did through Golden State. I agree with you. If Draymond plays, it might have been a different thing.
Too. That's your
but they still had to win 2 of the 3
games,
games, Captain, and did. So, but no, look, credit to the Lakers. I think next year the NBA is going to be awesome because you're going to have the Clippers with a new coach. The Nets, obviously, Durant and Kyrie will be playing. Doc Rivers is in Philadelphia. The Celtics and their young team. There's going to be a lot of good teams in the NBA next year. And I was listening to Jeannie Buss last night, and I was waiting. I'm like, when's he going to bring up Kobe? Because they didn't say anything about Kobe. And then finally she brought up Kobe. And because, to me, man, that should have been dedicated to Kobe. I mean, great to see them win the title in the year that he tragically passed away, him and his daughter. And just what really kind of set the tone for what this year's been was when you heard he passed away. And that's when everything really started going to shit this year. And I'm happy for Jeannie Buss too, Angela, because, her family got a lot of criticism after her father died. And she's the one who got rid of her brother who was the problem and righted that ship and got LeBron and AD there. And credit to Jeannie. I always loved Jeannie Buss too.
Jeannie also, wasn't she dating Phil Jackson? Weren't they dating or something?
Yeah.
So she had to, that's kind of tricky too. You had to, get him out, and that was a little issue there too. I'm just saying.
But no, I mean,
all the credit. And look, I just think, look, MJ was in my era. It was a different era. It was a different game then, and you really can't compare the two. For this era, MJ is, LeBron's the guy. But I honestly, back then, I just don't think LeBron against Bill Laimbeer taking it to the rim, totally different than this game today. Where, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Bill Laimbeer, you're gonna have some bumps and bruises at the end of the night. I don't think LeBron went home.
Bumps and bruises would have had a black eye from Bill Laimbeer.
You probably had a broken nose too.
It would have knocked him out.
Yeah, it was a different game.
I was being kind to Bill Laimbeer, but yes,
But LeBron's a big boy though too.
He is, but I just think it's a different game, and when you're able to. You're playing different games, so it's hard to, it's hard to say Ty Cobb and, Derek Cole right now. I mean, totally different game, totally different way of pitching the baseball. I mean,
right.
So, I with that. So now you want to get to your Eagles?
Yeah. May I? One quick on basketball. Okay, and then we'll get to the Eagles.
Go.
And I said this to Angela. Yeah, I don't like LeBron personally. As a person, he's a fantastic player. But I think going with what Coach says, there's such a transition from the old dudes like me. I said, if you have a Mount Rushmore, you have the Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Bob Cousy era Rushmore. Then you have like the medium Rushmore, which is kind of like my era with Jay and MJ. And, some folks that Coach Muddle, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, even Kareem is probably there in that middle tier. Like you have 3 portions of the Mount Rushmore. And everybody is so nowadays with sports franchises, it's new and modern and what's now. Oh, they're the greatest. They're the greatest. They're the greatest. Because these people who are younger have no friggin' modicum of knowledge over what the NBA, what baseball was, what football was. Jim Brown, who's that guy? It's always about what's new and now. And that's why I think that sports people talking this guy versus that guy, you got to take into a generational thing, and they don't do it. Yeah. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead and talk about the Eagles.
No, it's tough. You're right. But I think LeBron is on the Mount Rushmore, though. I mean, he's had a great career. Him and Jordan are close. I would probably still give it to Jordan. I really would, because Jordan stayed with the Bulls and had to get past those Pistons. But it's close, man. It's really close. Okay, on to the Eagles. Look, I thought they played good. Like, I mean, look, they're so injured on offense. Little disappointed that some rookie receiver who is good, but he should have had 5 touchdowns, let alone 4. Little disappointed about that. I thought Carson played better. Still had 2 interceptions though. Got to clean up the mistakes. But look, in the NFC, because it is true, it is the NFC least, as captain, and everybody likes to call it. The Eagles are still alive. I mean, look, Dak's out now. We'll see what happens. If the Eagles can get Jeffrey back and Deshaun back and Goddard back and Rager back, they can win.
Put a country music song on, you start getting things back when you play it backwards.
Right. Well, but no, and Lane Johnson got carted off yesterday. I mean, if we can get not all of them back, but some of them back, they can win the NFC East, but they're not winning a playoff game. But yeah, I mean, and that's not saying much winning the NFC East. But like I said, I go home and I say, you know what, Chris or Nevada Nick, you could be the Giants. You know what I mean? Because the Giants suck. They're terrible. They couldn't even beat the Cowboys without Dak. So, a little Freudian slip there too. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The Eagles they're dealing with a lot of things this year. I'm more concerned about the future. I know what it is for what it is this year. I'm more concerned of what's the future hold. There's questions about Wentz. I don't question Wentz, but I think we have a lot of big decisions to make along our offensive line and the age of our team. And, we got to figure that out.
I think the winner of this division is going to be 7-9, 8-8 at best.
I think 8-8's a pipe dream.
Let's and now, I'll step over to, obviously Giants, Dallas, and the Giants, looked good. They're up, 17-3. And then all of a sudden, Daniel Jones strikes again, and drops the ball. And next thing you know, the game is tied within 90 seconds? I mean.
Yeah, I couldn't understand. I mean, Coach, I'm sorry for busting in. It's like I saw it at 17-3. And literally, like you said, I look back on the score because I'm like, oh, good. The Giants are winning, man. This is great because can't stand the Cowgirls. And then all of a sudden I look up, I'm like, tied? What the fuck just happened? And I had no clue what happened because I wasn't, actively watching the game. Yeah. So that's weird.
Yeah, Cowboys had a nice drive, and then Daniel Jones fumbles the ball from Marcus Lawrence, and it gets run back for a touchdown.
And but again, Daniel Jones, you look at the score. 37-34. Daniel Jones didn't throw a touchdown in that game. Okay. So, he fumbled the ball. I just didn't, I'm starting to lose, I don't want to say patience, but again, and you've known I've said this, that my issue with him was where he was drafted. He was not a top 10 quarterback coming out of college. And here we are again. You look at the Giants' schedule, I don't see a win. I see right now.
They'll beat the Redskins.
Not if Chase Young. If Chase Young's in that lineup, Chase Young, I still think the Redskins would have given a better game to Baltimore had Chase Young been in that. And when you get back to Washington, big props to Alex Smith. I mean, the dude almost died. I mean, couldn't walk, and here he is out there. And the very
I bite my fingernails watching him play, though, man. I worry. I
had goosebumps. I was just like, wow. And and then you see Aaron Donald jump on his back, in play 2, and I'm like, holy crap, and to see his wife and kids in the stands, and they're the only ones there in the stands, and it's like, oh my God, they're gonna have to watch this again. It was. But the guy played in the game. He toughed it out, got sacked 6 times. But, Chase Young, especially against that inexperienced young offensive line of the Giants, I think will and that's why I don't think the Giants will be able to win some football games.
But you're close, Coach. You have a lot of close games. You're close.
No
mistakes. Yeah. Look, was it a fake punt or fake field goal? That was a great play call. with a mental mistake. It was a great play call.
But when you watch that replay, the kid barely moved. He barely. I mean, how do you call that? How do you call that?
He moved.
2 touchdowns got called back. That one, and there was another one on that I felt were both kind of ticky tack. Like, really, you're throwing the flag on that? Like,
it was like I said about Captain with the Chiefs game. Kelsey, and it was a penalty. They called him for offensive PI. If he just runs through it instead of blocking the guy, right? They don't call it, and that's what he needed to do. So it's a mental mistake, Just
they're mental mistakes. It's a young
mental
team.
mistake. He should have ran through it. It looks like he was blocking them, and they got to throw the flag. I mean, it is.
But my thing is, I just don't think Daniel Jones is the guy, and I'm getting more leaning towards that more every week that I see more of him play, because you had these high expectations coming in when you saw what he did last season. He's regressed in what he's doing. And, I mean, granted, you have big shoes to fill. I mean, 2-time Super Bowl MVP quarterback who was a stable there for a long time in Eli Manning. And then you're coming in, I just don't think – I think the Giants went about it wrong. I think they should have brought in a veteran free agent as a stopgap for a couple of years before they drafted a quarterback and built that offensive line. I mean, come on. You don't go
like Carolina's doing. Look at Carolina's having success doing with Teddy right now.
And there you go. And then you went out, you got a running back with the number 3 overall pick or number 2 overall pick. I mean, come on, he hasn't been on the field. He's been injured more than he's been running. I'm tired of hearing him being great. He's not great. He's not on the field. He's great at not being on the field.
Running backs aren't valued at number 3 like that.
Right.
You can always get a guy later in the first round like Captain's got and Josh Jacobs, who's going to be a good player for your team. And look, I'd take Jacobs over Saquon Barkley. He's on the field. I take Jacobs every day. And Jacobs was what, like the 28th pick, Captain, or somewhere around there?
No, I think it was like 20. No, I think Abram was 28, and I want to get to Abram too. But he was like 22, I think.
But that's what I mean. You can get a good back later in the first or second.
Yeah. But I want to just throw this out to you guys. Since Dave Gettleman has taken over at the Giants, Saquon Barkley, Carter, who just tore his Achilles, the defensive lineman. The only draft pick that I would say he hit on is Slayton. Slayton's is going to be a good receiver. But and then you talk about Baker, who's not even in the league anymore. And Dexter Lawrence is, he's average. The guy trades away a 3rd round pick for a guy who needs to get paid and who is again average. I mean, he's
that's the Eagles' problem. I watched Metcalf last night, DK Metcalf for the Seahawks, just being dominant as a receiver. We have Arcadia Whiteside. I see Justin Jefferson for the Vikings having big games. We have Jalen Reagor who can't get on the field. And they're big mistakes, and it's on Howie. And that's kind of why now the Eagles, who a couple years after winning the Super Bowl, are in cap hell and look old. I know Stiz was waiting to talk about the Giants. Sorry, Stiz. But can we get into the Dak situation a little bit?
Yeah. And by the way, you were right. It was 24. I was off. It was 24.
Okay. So, obviously I feel bad for Dak and the whole situation. It's a tricky situation now. Because he obviously was franchised. I don't think, it's a career-ending injury or anything. But it was a compound fracture of his ankle. It looked bad. I knew right away it was when your ankle's turned like his was, you knew it was a season-ending injury. That was obvious. And, I feel bad for the guy.
Honestly, I thought his shoe came off at first. I didn't realize his foot was still in the shoe when I saw it turned like that.
Yeah,
and then when I saw the look on his face, I went, "Oh no, his foot's still in that."
Yeah, he like a lot of people were saying, they feel bad about. Look, he's still got $31 million this year, which is a lot more than any of us are, and he's still going to get paid more. Supposedly what had happened was, Cowboys wanted 5 years, he wanted 4, and I know there was that $35-40 million talk, but look, and Stephen Jones came out today and said Dak's still their guy. I believe they're still going to pay him. I do think they're probably going to go with a franchise tag again because they're going to want to see him play on that ankle. And it's the shitty part of the NFL. It really is. But look, this could have happened a year ago when Dak was only making $600,000 or something. Right. At least $31 million is still a lot of money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's 31 years of $1 million, in which we would all gladly right now maybe give a kidney, excuse me. Livers you need. But, Dak's going to be fine. Obviously I hope he gets a speedy recovery and then, obviously gets paid at some point in the next year or two.
But and only because it's relevant. Similar to the car injury in 2006 on Christmas Eve. As soon as I saw that leg on the replay, I'm like, oh shit.
And that was a shame too.
Yeah. But again, Carr came back the next year and played. And I was like, remember, it was Christmas when it got broken like that, and he came back for the next year. It's earlier in the year. I think that Dak will be able to come back. All things being even, I don't know if it's even or not, but if it is even and it's a similar type of break, then he should be able to come back. The problem is up here because Carr took a couple years to get back from being that.
Yeah,
that's what the injury is. And that's why when you were talking about Alex Smith, and I was like, it took him a while. And by the way, if you're the Redskins, I think you should still get another quarterback because Alex Smith should be your, the last guy, literally the last guy off the bench.
But Allen was fine. He's cleared. He was cleared. It was, Alex wanted to stay in is what I read.
Okay.
Alex didn't want to come out of the game.
How about another big thing yesterday, and I think a part of it was because he thought maybe he brought him back a week early. How about Jimmy G getting benched? And you got to wonder if the Niners aren't going to say, can this guy get us? I know they were 10 points ahead in the Super Bowl, but ultimately they lost. And Jimmy G had a touchdown that could have been thrown to beat the Chiefs in that Super Bowl, and he didn't make it. Great quarterback, good quarterback makes that throw in that big game.
I heard
makes that throw. But I wonder if maybe after this year they don't kind of relook that situation.
I heard
that's a bad.
Here's something I heard interesting. Sam Darnold to the 49ers. I
like it. I can't lie. Look, I just Jimmy G last year was the product of a great offensive mind with a great offensive line and a great running game. They could give him better players to go around at wide receiver, but you got George Kittle, who hands down best tight end in football. Sorry, Captain, I know you love Waller. Waller's up there.
He's up there.
Kittle, I'm talking about blocking everything.
Yeah,
in my mind, best tight end in football.
I agree. I agree.
So it's I think they got some questions. Some decisions to make because look, the Niners are going to be around.
This year, the guaranteed money is done. They can get rid of him without too big of a cap hit after the season.
Yeah, we'll see. I was going to say because he's definitely not worth the money, man. When they signed him, and all the Niner fans are saying, "Oh, we got our franchise quarterback. Jimmy G is the best thing," and yada yada. I'm like, I really think, and I'm not trying to be mean, although I said I really think you overpaid for a piece of crap. I really think you overpaid for a piece of crap. Oh no, you're just jealous. Okay.
Hey, all of those New England backups left and got big money. It didn't really pan out, but they all got big paychecks.
Yeah.
Didn't Kansas City pay a guy a while back?
Yeah. He's the guy that came in. He's the guy that came in when Brady was hurt with the first game of the year. And
he was 13-3.
Castle, 11-5.
Matt Castle,
11-5. He went.
And you got Jacoby Brissett, who got paid a decent amount for being a Colt, and then Jimmy G is like Jimmy G. Oh, you think you guys got paid? Here, hold my fucking beer.
Well,
because
and
he
what
got
happened?
Paid a lot.
Jimmy G was undefeated with the Patriots. Obviously, goes to San Francisco and he won his first couple of games there. And it was like, oh, my God, he's going to be – and they paid him. And, look, when he's not getting touched and he's got a clean pocket, yeah, he can pick people apart. But you need quarterbacks that when they're getting pressured and they're under the gun can make throws, and I don't know that Jimmy G's that. He gets happy feet. He got happy feet in the Super Bowl. Honestly, I would take Derek Carr any day of the week over Jimmy G. I really would. I think Derek Carr is a better quarterback, than Jimmy G. And look, Carr's have not to go to the Raiders, but it was somebody I was trying to think that people kind of, and Carr's not that like top 5, but I would say he's in that. Carr's put himself in that Wentz Prescott like second level, talking about the quarterback, and
I put him in the top 12.
Yeah, well, I think he's the kind of guy too. Like, look, there's Mahomes, Wilson, and Jackson who can pretty much elevate any team, and then there's guys like Carr, Wentz, and Prescott where if you complement them with good players, they can have success. It's just you got to complement them with good players, and like, look, man, you really saw it yesterday with Ruggs. He was, and Stiz, you're right. He said, watch out for the Seahawks. I don't love their defense, but man, Russell Wilson, I'm telling you right now, you can talk about Mahomes. Give me Russell Wilson any day of the week. I'm taking him over Mahomes. Mahomes has got great arm talent, but you saw it yesterday. Mahomes isn't flawless, and the way Wilson runs the ball with his legs and never takes hits and just, nobody's playing better this year, in my opinion, than Russell Wilson.
Right. I agree. I'll give you that. That's that's good stuff.
And you didn't even mention Rodgers, and definitely Rodgers is in the top 5 as well.
And Rodgers, I would say, is probably right after
Brady. You missed those 3 guys, but hey,
Brees, I don't think's at that level anymore.
Yeah, Brees and Brady have now got to the back end of that,
but they're still in the top 10.
Well, that's because it's longevity, Coach. Actually, I would put them around 11, 12 because there are a lot more quarterbacks in the NFL today, that are probably top 10. You got to go with Brees and Brady based upon their stats and their longevity.
Right. Okay.
But right now, no, I don't think they're top 10 quarterbacks.
Let me say, too, like I said earlier, man, the Colts made a huge mistake. Phillip Rivers can't throw the ball down the field anymore.
Yeah.
And you saw it yesterday. He threw an easy pick 6, and it's a shame because the Colts have a really good team around them. If Andrew Luck was still playing, the Colts might be the best team in football. And, they got the best defense. Andrew Luck's really good. It's just the same. Phillips Rivers just can't throw the ball anymore, really. And he's like a statue back there. And
I don't know why they don't play Brissett. I'm sorry.
And you know what, though, Captain? That's why I don't understand, though, with everything that was out there, Jameis Winston, Cam Newton. Tell me Cam Newton wouldn't look good on the Colts. Look what he's doing in New England with not much. The Colts actually have T.Y. Hilton and Pascal, a good running game and a line, and that defense. I don't get it why they gave a $25 million to Phillip Rivers. We all knew he was done last year.
Right.
2 years ago.
You're probably right, Captain. You're probably right. Yeah. And I know, she says I'm hating on Derek Carr. She's kidding, though. To Angela, I'm talking about. And Angela, I agree with you about the captain thing, about Draymond. I agree. If he gets, Leah, if he plays, maybe do they win? But still, they had a game at home, and they had 2 games they could have beat them anyway, and they did. That's on the Warriors. You got to cut. You have home court, especially in a game 7. You got to win that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I admitted that I don't like LaFraud.
I don't like things about him either. I'm not going to deny it, Captain. I didn't like when he came out and spoke out against Daryl Morey, who obviously said there was human right violations in China. No, I'm just saying. But then when
it is what it is. All right. But we skipped over, that Dallas is pretty good with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's a pretty good quarterback.
Come on, Coach. It's a quarter and a half.
He had no talent. Took a team to the playoffs in Cincinnati.
What he is in his last 19 games?
What?
You know what his record is in the last 19 games?
Yeah, probably 0-19.
3-16. Don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
But no, he's never had that much talent around him. Come on.
No, he's going to probably do good in Dallas.
But wait a second. It's not like, where he's going and the backup is a rookie who was drafted in the 6th round or some guy who has never played. you have a solid veteran backup that is serviceable.
No, and that's why
I'm not giving the Eagles
everybody said it was a good
as you are. I think Dallas has a better shot.
Oh, I agree. Because they got, but that defense though, and look, Andy Dalton, that line's banged up for Dallas. They're missing Tyron Smith and Collins, and Travis Frederick retired. Wait till he gets some pressure.
Yeah, but that kid's playing pretty well. The center, and he from Wisconsin, because I was high on that kid because I wanted the Giants to draft him, and they drafted a freaking guard to try to make into a center. Unbelievable. Draft a real freaking center, please.
Put up what Brian Ellis said. It's your boy from yesterday. He said, "Hey, coach, just want to say your team did great yesterday."
Where's that? I don't see it.
Blue Ellis, yeah.
Wait a second. But did I not say it was going to be a shootout, 35-34?
You did.
Did I not say that? That was pretty damn close calling that game, that what it was. So
but he said Giants were going to win, and they lost.
So I'm a Giant fan. Of course, I'm going to win. But in reality, they're not going to win a game this year.
Yeah. But if Prescott doesn't go down, Dallas wins by double digits, in my opinion, yesterday. Just my opinion. Don't freak out, Coach. I thought Dallas was going to get rolling. Look, he's like going back and forth. But, hey, look, you got a chance this weekend. And it's fucked up. You guys don't have a win yet. You're not out of the division. So just look at it like that. I mean, you're only 5, and you're only 2 games out. So there's positives here.
But we have Washington, and then we play the Eagles on a Thursday night. If you
can beat Philly.
All things. But you know what? Honestly, I want the Giants to win some football games. I do. Yeah. But part of me doesn't want. I want Dave Gettleman gone. I think Daniel Jones needs to move on and get a fresh start somewhere else, unfortunately. And let's take Lawrence and let's
Lawrence,
Lose for Lawrence. And look, it's the Battle of New York. The Jets and the Giants battling for the number 1 pick. Yeah. But
that's right. But you know what? Is it the Vikings or it's somebody is ahead of the Jets would have the 3 pick right now. I just saw it. I forget. Oh, Atlanta. Giants, Atlanta, Jets right now.
How does Gay still have his job?
I have no idea. And we didn't even get to Atlanta firing their coach and general manager. But we'll get to that tomorrow. Right. Everyone, thank you for checking us out. We appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook, share it with your friends.
I apologize.
And Captain is getting ready to get beat when he opens the door and his wife fucking killed him.
Oh, fuck. You know what?
All right. He's going to get in the frying pan when he gets off the air here. It's fine.
That's why I have my room. There's another room with a bathroom and a bed. All I got to do is take my CPAP machine and I'm fucking good. Trust me.
There
I'm
you go.
Fucking good.
All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the night. Some football tonight. Do you like the game tonight, Nick?
I wouldn't lay 7, but I like the Saints to win.
Okay.
And then tomorrow night, Bills are 3.5. That's a tough one. 2 undefeated teams, but I would say buy the hook and bet Bills -3.
All right, we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right, guys.
Right,
and by the way, in a sport that doesn't count, the Rays are winning 4-1 in the top of the night.